Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cosmic Howling Media. Today is December 12th, 2020. We're about 8 days away from the mass meditation as we enter into the age of Aquarius. And also, we're just finishing up a full galactic year and enter a new galactic year, which is a galactic year is close to 26,000 Earth years. So massively profound times we're in. And the wars raging on, and planetary. It looks good that the surface will be liberated here on the surface quite soon. It's all playing out so fast. And hats off to everybody who's interested in truth and justice, and finding ways of helping with this liberation, as many and more people are on the surface as we awaken more and more. Excellent. Here's a little quote from, here's a little part of the a great talk today from General Flynn. Let's see here. Let's share this one. Here's General Flynn, just a little take on General Flynn's today. Here's General Flynn.
In our minds, that's where we find fear. Because fear is a mental thing. It's something that you have in your minds, and you fear things because your mind says, I'm afraid of that, or I'm afraid of this. But it's in our hearts. It's in our hearts where we truly know what is right. Because in our hearts, that's where we differentiate between good and bad, right? Where we differentiate between darkness and light. And we know that. We know that in our heart. It's that gut feeling, but it's actually your heart. It's your heart talking to you, not your mind, because your mind's going to say, I'm afraid. And what I'm telling you is we need to be fearless as Americans. And we need to be fearless because truth will always triumph over lies.
Excellent. Hats off to General Flynn. Great talk today. And that really, for any of us interested, that can, really applies to us all, does it not? Hats off to all the patriots of their countries all over, because to me, a true patriot of their country is a true patriot of humanity as well, and of truth and justice and science-based decision making, that kind of thing. And so, wow, like you give our people more and more truth. We get more and more access to truth and real science, the higher sciences, and man, we're going to start to really fly now, and become a truly a fully spacefaring nation. I mean, we already are a spacefaring nation. Those of us who've been in the SSP know that firsthand. But this, let's share. We got to remember, let's not play hooky next time. Some of us maybe played hooky when school, our teacher was teaching us about sharing. So we need to share all these great technologies that our secret space programs have and have been utilizing in all sorts of ways, and start to hopefully the main thing is we get to use them in more positive ways and legal ways, et cetera, et cetera. I just want to say hats off to the positive secret space program forces that are in play. They're known generally as, we're talking about the Alliance here, if you will. Hats off, folks, because they're doing awesome works for sure too. And that includes Kruger, which I'd like to speak a little bit about Kruger. Now, I don't know any too much about them, but I feel it's cellular memory because my time in the secret space program, apparently I worked for Kruger for 10 of the years, but you're always attached to them too once you're, because Kruger, I would propose that our the best fighting forces of our secret space program, like, man, so, but I'll get more memories back, and I am getting more memories back of that, as a lot of secret space program veterans are. So hats off to Kruger, because they're part of the more positive secret space program people, the Alliance, the ones who have broke off from the majority that, decide to stay with the Draconians and the black goo and all that stuff, eh? That's a whole other massive stories. I can see the near future, we're going to be able to make some awesome movies about all sorts of secret space program operations, adventures, experiences, wars that have gone on that, you know, most of us aren't haven't got access to that information yet. But and also thanks to all the secret space program veterans who have remembered and are remembering, and including ones that have remembered a lot, and have given great testimonies and continue to, that kind of thing. So also, yeah, I'd like to play a little bit on, this is a politician from Austria. And I'd like to just go through a little bit of this. This politician from Austria, this is some recent manifestations here on the surface. Hats off to all these politicians that are now, there's some of the politicians are getting, we got some pretty positive force politicians that are getting in place even. Like, for example, the president of Mexico is really looking good as far as a positive force involved. So, and that's the idea. We need to take charge here, the Lighforces, including whatever the political leadership of all these countries. We need to, and there's a beginning of that, certainly, absolutely. And then the politicians that are already in there that want to do good and they're just, you know, trapped in a bad system that have been controlled by the criminals up till now. You know, such as the whole this whole civilization. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, in a sense, is the whole thing is 80+% of this world, this civilization, has been controlled by the dark forces up till now. They've lost some since, especially recent months and even years. You know, there's been more and more cracks and everything, but now we're looking like good that we're gonna see more and more of loss of power of the dark forces, the criminals, and then it's gonna reach critical mass and it's gonna collapse, and then we can arrest all the criminals and all the political houses around the world, corporations, bankers, etc., which has been happening too behind the scenes in a lots too. That's basically unknown to most of us as well. But anyways, here's this politician from Austria.
Handelsübliche Cola. Und ich darf jetzt den Test insofern durchführen, dass ich dieses Cola nehme und auf den Massentest, den Sie auch verwenden, auftrage. Meine Damen und Herren, ja, das ist ein Blödsinn, dieser Test, den Sie mit Steuergeld angekauft haben, mit mehr Steuergeld als nötig gewesen wäre, um die Hauptpension aufrechtzuerhalten. Und wie wertlos dieser Test ist, den werden wir am Ende meiner Rede sehen, wenn das Ergebnis vorliegt, sehr geehrte Damen und Herren. Sie sprechen von Blödsinn, bezahlen tut das die Bevölkerung. Sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, mittlerweile liegt auch das Testergebnis Ihrer Steuergeldverschwendung vor. Und ich darf sagen, Herr Präsident, wir dürften jetzt ein Problem haben, weil wir haben einen positiven Corona-Test im Parlament. Dieses Cola hat einen positiven Corona-Test ausgelöst. Ich weiß jetzt nicht, wie Sie damit umgehen. Aber, sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, mit solchen Dingen werfen Sie zig Millionen Euro Steuergeld aus dem Fenster. Anstatt für echten Schutz der Alten- und Pflegeheime zu sorgen, anstatt endlich Geld zu investieren in unsere Krankenhäuser und das Gesundheitsbudget nicht aushungern zu lassen. Sehr geehrte Damen und Herren der Regierung.
Now, there's just a little bit of what the politician, the gentleman's been saying. So as you can see, he's done a test using cola as the test substance, and it came out positive. So cola, the cola he brought in tested positive for COVID. And so basically, this touches on some very high-level lawyers around the world, including some in Europe, Canada, United States. For example, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and Rocco Galati, and then and others, definitely lots of others, including some very talented, highly skilled lawyers that have brought forth some lawsuits. And part of that is proving that the tests, and there's more than one of them, but this is one here that's been used en masse. The one that this gentleman just showed how massively inaccurate it is and such, how it's just insane, So this is excellent to see that, including some of the politicians like this gentleman. Let's see. What is this gentleman's name? Oh yeah, this gentleman's name is Austria MP tests cola for COVID in front of Parliament. Guess what the results were? Okay, so we know what the results were. I'll post all the links here of any of these articles anybody wants to read more into and listen to the films and stuff and watch the films. This gentleman, and hats off to this politician. In footage from the meeting in Vienna Friday, FPO General Secretary Michael Schnedlitz brings a glass of cola to the podium, from which he proceeds to collect drops to use on an antigen rapid test being used en masse scale. Yeah, right on. Hats off to the Austrian FPO General Secretary, Michael Schnedlitz. Bravo, bravo. Awesome, man. So yeah, that's good to see. There's more and more, everybody's standing up more and more. And like the general just said today, just speaking of truth, honesty, that's what, I mean, there it is, man. Truth. You want proof? You want truth? Lots of it. There's massive amounts of it out there about what's really going on. So good stuff. We're building momentum. More and more people are waking up in all sorts of ways. And especially, like I say, this is great to see any of these, some of these more and more even politicians in the big houses like that standing up and giving the House of Humanity a name, if you will. Now, here's just one more I'd like to show on. This is the Mexican president. Now, check this out on the. This is the Mexican president. That's the one on the general. Now, let's see here. We got. Oh yeah, here's the Mexican president. Here's something on the an article on the Mexican president. Mexican president becomes a voice for COVID freedom. Says pandemic lockdowns are the tactic of dictators. And so this is the president of Mexico, man. Awesome. This the fundamental. Oh, here's and like the president says, the fundamental thing is to guarantee liberty. Says Mexican president when asked why he almost never wears a mask. And then he goes on, just a couple of quotes from the Mexican president here. Mexico's president, Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador. Everyone is free. Here's the president, translated from Spanish. He must have been speaking Spanish when he said this, but translated, everyone is free. Whoever wants to wear a face mask and feel safer is welcome to do so. Exactly. And it's the same anywhere. Absolutely. That's really basic human rights. If we want to wear something that we think is going to protect us, we should, of course, and we have a right to. At the same time, unless we can, it can be scientifically proven that we need to have a requirement of, say, billions of people wearing masks out there, which there's no science that's proving that it's any effective. Au contraire. Science has proven wearing those types of little particle masks are useless in, being able to effectively stop any what we call a virus kind of thing. It's been described, and that's what it is like, putting up a chain link fence to try to stop the water from coming through. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just, yeah. So anyways, the Lighforces, the people interested in truth and awoke enough have all the proof massively, and we're building. Our army's building. The Lighforces armies on the surface are building, including more and more politicians, lawyers, medical staff. Hats off to all the doctors speaking out, and and the scientists, all sorts of scientists. Hats off to the military people, military veterans speaking out, SSP, including Secret Space Program veterans, etc. And just all the people, say, anybody couple more quotes from the president of Mexico. He goes on here to say, "We would like to ask Mexico to be very serious," he said. "We have said it in general. Wearing a mask is important, hygiene is important, and physical distancing is important, and we expect leaders to be examples." Now that's coming, sorry, that's not the Mexican president. That's coming from the WHO, the World Health Organization. "The number of increasing cases and deaths in Mexico is very worrisome," says the Director General of the World Health Organization, an individual named Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, on Monday. And I'll post this link here. And that would be an example of, if you want to see what that guy is all about, you could ask a lot of people that know firsthand from his country. And there's lots of articles on who that individual is and who he serves, what he serves, all that kind of stuff. The World Health Organization. So because the president of Mexico is speaking truth and saying, basically speaking about basic human rights that he'd like his people to be afforded, and these world and beyond cabal forces in play are trying to get him reeled in, obviously. Eh? Like this Tedros guy says. He says, "We would like to ask Mexico to be very serious," he said. "We have said it in general. Wearing a mask is important. Hygiene is important, and physical distancing is important, and we expect leaders to be examples." See, there's no science that they can base that on, though, eh? And that hygiene is important, absolutely. So, and like I say, you want to wear a mask, of course. It's your human rights. You can walk around with a mask out there all the time if you choose. But those of us who choose not to, we're getting our basic human rights trampled on, obviously. But anyways, the cabal is in desperate panic mode, and that's showing every second now more and more. They're carting out the last of their agents at podiums to say this same thing. They're all reading off the same teleprompter, basically, all over the Earth's surface in all countries. But so hats off to the Lightforces types that are easily exposing them. And this massive censorship on the media is obviously another desperate attempt for this Earth surface cabal that's quickly on their way out now to try somehow to stop the truth that's just flooding out now, and disclosure, all kinds of stuff, eh? And so basically, yeah. Just one more quote on President Obrador of Mexico. He says, "Everyone is free. Whoever wants to wear a face mask and feel safer is welcome to do so," Obrador said. Exactly. So that's the thing, eh? See, those of us who we just want our basic human rights, man, and we're going to find a way to get restored to that, and even better. The thing is about all this is we're going to make it even better for all of us. That's the thing, eh? Like the dark forces are trying to basically read the Georgia Guidestones, all that kind of stuff, right? And they're just in desperation now, but they're losing really fast, man. And let's get into why they're losing really fast on a somewhat of an esoteric level, if you will. But it's all more and more now. Things are connecting. Things are, we really connect this. And the thing is, basically what happens, I'll just like to go through some, there's a recent report Cobra just brought out. And let's see here, that one. Now I'll post that link too on that other excellent Lightforces website called Prepare for Change, where including that article that came out on about what the president of Mexico has been saying recently as well. Now, let's see here. Let's just play this first. This is awesome. Here's a 1 minute thing about this is a beautiful little film here, a 1 minute little film on the meditation and all this, and about the spiritual warriors, all kinds of stuff. Just want to play this. It's only 1 minute. Excellent, excellent. And that, may your stance, awesome. May your stance for freedom and sovereignty ripple throughout humanity. Absolutely. And that, yeah, that's exactly what's going on, man. Right on. Hats off to everybody awakening and into their mansions of cosmic mind expansions, all that kind of cool stuff, eh? So that wow, that's awesome. Let's see here. So just like to go through a little bit of about the meditation more and stuff here, and a little some update on some intel, fresh intel from Cobra that he just released. Let's see here. Yeah, here it is here. Okay, yeah. So Cobra just released a timeline situation update, and there's a new Cobra interview as well. Anybody haven't heard the new Cobra interview? Check that out. It's like really excellent, eh? Some really groovy folks interviewing them and stuff, eh? Jedi, etc. Eh? Some really cool folks. Okay, so yeah, exactly. The like he's mentioned here, our timeline connection. Here's Cobra quoting Cobra here. Timeline connection meditation on November 11th was quite successful with about 80,000 people meditating, and we have managed to stabilize the ascension timeline to a certain degree. So yeah, we didn't reach critical mass, but you know, there certainly was beneficial that one on November 11th, and because yeah, critical mass takes us about about 150,000 people, that kind of thing. Eh, we can get up 140 plus 150,000. We can usually reach critical mass. So hopefully we're going to have a lot more, and especially the December 21 one. Hopefully we can get because we had over 1 million at the beginning of this year. One of the mass meditations, we had over 1 million people. Man, it was awesome. So yeah, December 21. Let's get friggin' big time here. Let's get some big numbers here, folks. Hopefully, let's spread this around as much as we can. There's on Cobra's site here. I'll post a link, of course. There's many languages that go through how a good way to go through this 20 minutes. It's only a 20-minute meditation, right? But it's going to really help to what a great way to bring in the age of Aquarius, eh? And help really bring in a more positive timeline, the real positive timeline, etc. And then there's lots of stuff on this update from Cobra, this timeline situation update on a lot of progress about exposing the dark forces, ongoing, crime spree against Mother Earth and her creatures and beyond. And but yeah, to go to, oh, this is pretty interesting too. There's a couple of crop circles that have been more than a couple, but here's one here that apparently a crop circle that it represents the winter solstice here, as you can see there. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, I've certainly never seen a crop circle, something like that. And here's another one. So what it is basically is Jupiter and Saturn are in conjunction with each other, right? Huge, man, huge. It's just so much. It's amazing what's going on here. And of course, our peoples on the surface have talked about this time for, literally thousands of years. People's various groups all over the surface have prophesized about where we're at now, and we're experiencing it now. It's just like, wow, man, and stuff. And this, another thing too, is really cool. On December 21, 2020, Jupiter and Saturn will align in the night sky to create the first Christmas star in nearly 800 years, man. So yeah, looks like the Grinch ain't going to be able to steal Christmas this year after all, man. We got the Christmas star coming. Let's have some Christmas cookies under the Christmas star this year, right? So, but anyways, that's pretty awesome. The thing is about December 21, 2020 also, that alignment and everything, the last time that happened as well is in 1405. And what happened right after 1405 is Renaissance, the Renaissance age. That triggered into the Renaissance age. and of course the Renaissance. That's, you know, the arts and science really evolved so fast all of a sudden, right? You know, the classical music that came out in the next years, you know, Beethoven and Bach and Wagner and all that, you know, this really sort of advanced, if you will, music, you know, the classical music stuff. And the architecture, you know, started building these amazing things that were built through that period, the architecture wise, and the structures, and science, of course, the science, Michelangelo, et cetera, you know, so the science, the evolution of science on Earth, and being able to engineer more and more cool stuff. And on, all that kind of stuff. The and you know, the philosophies and the finer, really getting into these sort of finer arts. So here we are here with that same conjunction that hasn't happened since 1405 either. And look what it did that time. And this is like massive, because we're actually finishing a galactic year and going into a new galactic year. We're just finishing a close to 26,000 Earth year cycle, and going into a new cycle, a new galactic year as well, and the golden age and Aquarius, and wow, man, just amazing stuff. And here's some good instructions on the meditation here. It's pretty, yeah, for a 20-minute meditation. I'll post that link. And, but also I just wanted to, oh yeah, there's a little bit, here's a little more. I'll just quote Cobra a couple times, a little bit more in this update here. Cobra goes on here to say, the awakening is now going mainstream and the dark forces cannot stop it anymore. What is happening now is that also people who are deep within the system are revolting against the system itself. This is exactly what was happening on Planet X in the last 3 weeks before the liberation in 1999. It will take a little bit longer on Earth, but this is a very good indicator how close to the breakthrough we are. Exactly. Insiders, Kabbalists are breaking free from it. Exactly. More moderate types and everything, because that's it, man. Yeah, join the winning team, man. Be on the right side of history. Let's do this thing, man. You know what I mean? What was the from the movie? The guy says about when we fail is when we judge each other. No, the science is the judge. The prime creator is the judge. Let's utilize real science and go from there. So yeah, the more people abandon the sinking dark force cabal ship, the better, man. Absolutely. And that's really happening more and more faster and faster, as we can see, including some and more of the politicians we're going to see speaking up now, because this is it, eh? This is this needs to continue to happen so that our civilization can survive through this, get to the other side. We, the light forces, take charge completely of the surface and start to build something really special, and, you know, end the suppression of advanced technologies and start to implement much more effective and advanced and operating systems everywhere. Transportation systems, medical systems, government systems, corporation systems, you know, everything across the board, eh? The internet, all that stuff, eh? Quantum computers. See, we got quantum computers breaking through too. Here's some pretty interesting stuff too. So basically disclosure is starting to really pour out. There's a cool picture there. The awakening is going mainstream. They can't stop it. Exactly. Oh, and like I say, there's definitely an interview. Cobra's done an interview. Anybody hasn't heard that yet. But there's some pretty good, let's go through a little more of this intel here, because this is pretty juicy stuff here. Oh yeah, here it is here. And here's why the Earth surface cabal is getting taken down for real now, because we're very close to that being able to happen. The light forces have lots of punch here to do that, but it's because of a more esoteric reasoning why that hasn't happened yet. But it's definitely happening really fast now. Oh, here it is here. This is Cobra writes here. Here's another quote from Cobra. In the first days of December, the light forces have managed to clear all Chimera fleet from near Earth orbit. This is an important step towards the liberation of the planet, as now the light forces are able to use near-Earth orbit much more freely for their liberation operations. And this has unleashed a huge amount of positive energy in near-Earth orbit. This energy is already precipitated towards the surface of the planet and resulted in disclosure attempts such as the following one. Okay, so there's, yeah, exactly. You go, and there's lots of links here, including about the Israeli space chief speaking that, yes, there's aliens and blah, 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 you know. That went mainstream basically, or certainly it's out there. And so, yeah, it's, and also, oh, that's right. Here's a huge thing about, see, China. There's China just, some things just were released in China about the, where did I see that? It was about some, basically they got a quantum computers. They're saying that's like massively faster than this, system we're using. Basically a quantum computer runs on photons, right? Subatomic particles, right? Photons. Whereas this runs on subatomic particles, yes, also, but this is kind of an electron-driven system we're using. But we're going to soon have a quantum computer system that basically runs on photons, eh? And photons are, for example, when they speak of tachyons, that's a type of a photon, eh? There's special photons used for many things, including healing and all that. Like we have the, thanks to Cobra, we have the tachyon energy healing chambers on the surface now. More and more tachyon energy healing chambers are opening up around the world. That's on the site here too. So yeah, there's some big stuff. There was something else, a couple other things on what China's released about. Oh yeah, they're starting to talk about super soldiers. Hey, the China's military, that's more and more getting known to the surface population, because many of us, like myself, that have served in the secret space program, we're super soldiers. I mean, I'm not a super soldier now. I'm on the Earth's surface and subject to the same as everybody else. But, you know, you have cellular memory, and it's not like it's, you know, we're remembering more. But in the SSP, there's so much advanced technology used to help the soldiers be just more knowledgeable, more skilled, have more, much more advanced weapons, communication systems available to them, like amazing, highly advanced various types of combat, exo combat suits, et cetera, et cetera. You know, it goes on and on. So that's coming out now on mainstream here in the surface, as China has begun to speak about, China's has began to speak about, that's come out in the media about them, you know, advancing their soldiers, basically, you know, turning them into super soldiers as well. So basically all this awesome technology, it's like anything, eh? If it's used in an illegal way, that's what it is. But when it's used in a goodness, legal ways, we can fly, and we can all, like, eventually all of us on the surface, all the creatures can basically have high quality lives. Not just the humans, everybody, eh? In that, eh? We won't even have to hunt anymore or anything eventually, eh? In that, I mean, we're a hunting civilization, right? I mean, that's all been distorted as far as I'm concerned. Hunting and fishing. I grew up fishing lots and did some hunting too. More of a fisherman, but did lots of hunting. And basically on the surface right now, I wouldn't mind saying that, yes, some of us are hunters, but some people who think they're hunters are actually sweepers. They just don't have the understanding. It's like this. In some cases, it's a killjoy thing. And it's like, well, I'll just leave it at that. As far as, what do we call it sometimes? Sport hunting? I can guarantee you there's no such thing as sport hunting. Hunting is not a sport. Hunting, we've done here for a long time to survive, have a chance to survive, literally. And as well, even right now, if you're equipped and you go hunting and get some deer and that's much better meat than obviously what these corporations are dialing us up, with this, all the stuff they put in the beef and everything, you know. So it's, you know, it's still, we're a hunting civilization, and but there's hunting and then there's sweeping, you know. And I think some of us got lost along the way, and So let's hopefully get back to that, where we can really get an understanding. This killjoy stuff and everything is pretty nasty at times. Just when we lose respect for other creatures. It's kind of like that movie. I'm thinking of this movie about what was it called? The Hunted. And this, special forces. It's a story about a special forces soldier who, went off the range. And all his experiences, he got started to experience through so much trauma. His PTSD got got the best of him, so to speak. And but he said one time something about in the movie, imagine if a species above us, the humans, lost all respect for us and started slaughtering us wholesale, like we do to the chickens, right? And that, you know what I mean? Like, if you look at how we process our chickens on Earth, it's very draconian, man. And that's the dark forces controlling everything. A lot of people think it's no problem, but it is. It actually produces loosh, right? Just look at our chicken industry, right? That's a loosh producer. So I'm not saying, oh, don't eat chicken. I eat chickens, whatever. I try to reduce a lot because of what's in it. But hey, man, I'm a carnivore. I'm an omnivore, whatever. I love a friggin' nice steak dinner. Absolutely, man. And but I'm just saying that if you look at that industry, there's a good example. Because the criminals have been in control of this world, we've developed these operating systems, including how we process foods we eat. There's a massive story there, including the chickens. These big, it's very, and you could go look at what they do, how they process the cattle, and there is like this extra meanness and nastiness involved so often. It's unnecessary, right? But that's it. It produces loosh, lower vibrational energies, and the archons feed off that. The demons feed off that. It's all part of it. This is a farm, and they find ways that we produce loosh, so the archons can live. So, like I say, eventually these kind of systems, we'll change them. We'll make them much more less torture and pain on any of the creatures when we're processing for food, cows, chickens, whatever, because we can do it. I mean, you know what I mean? So why not, right? Why would we want to have any creature suffer when it's needless? We got science, technologies, tools, know-how. We could build these operating systems much better. But like I say, the reason behind that is, it produces loosh, and they live off that. They produce loosh, pain and suffering on the humans, death and destruction, all sorts, all these wars and stuff, So that's the thing, So anybody right now, hats off, like I say, to all the patriots of their countries everywhere. And because, absolutely, you're a patriot of your country, you're a patriot of your humanity. And, that's really cool stuff, And the new Atlantis, which is the United States of America, that's why, all eyes are really more on the United States than everywhere. And that's all written in the stars, in a sense, because the heart chakra, and interesting, the General Flynn, capo light warrior general, awesome light warrior, mentioned about the heart, what's in our heart and all that, and the heart, so the heart chakra of the new Atlantis is in the United States of America. Up here in Canada, this is kind of an extension too. It's all part of the that landmass that America, North America, as well, And the Canadians, we've been involved in the space program since the beginning too, and we've served in it, like myself, blah blah blah. But basically, the heart chakra of the new Atlantis is in America, specifically the United States of America. And that's why, it's all chips are down. So hats off to the American brothers and sisters, because it's like, wow, man, if it looks really good that, really the swamp monsters are being taken out big time now, all over the world and beyond, and stuff, And any Canadians, military, as well as the military veterans, all the white hats in Canada, the military white hats in active service, and the veterans. I'm a veteran of the Canadian Armed Forces. Hats off to all of you, man, and stuff, We can assist, and we will, and our active service, military service, the white hats, right? You got the black hats, you got the white hats, So soon what we're going to see on CBC and CTV are the military white hats, the Canadian military white hats. That's what we're going to see. Right now, we don't see that. We see the black hats, right? Okay, they're carting out everything right now and blah, 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 and trying to get those that stuff in everybody's arms and everything. Eh? So it's it's really hit the fan now. Let's get this thing stopped as soon as possible, man, and bring in it's going to be great when we take over the medias, man, and stuff. Eh? This may get censored and stuff, where the guys, like, we all get censored everywhere. I used to be on Facebook, and then they just stopped letting me post links, and stuff. But it wasn't a waste of time. 4 or 5 years, I posted lots of links till I didn't even get some notice. Oh, you're suspended or whatever. Eh? I couldn't post links anymore. Eh? But I like those sites. Like, I look forward to going back to those sites, Facebook and stuff. Once we clear the criminality, the criminals that control all that, the big tech has been spoken about by light warriors and stuff recently, especially recently, the big tech, Google and, this system we're on here, right? We're going to take this over, the internet, the light forces, including the social media sites, because it's excellent, man. I like being on Facebook. You can keep in contact with your friends and family and share information and all that. The idea is awesome. But like I say, it's like, once they sort of just censor you, man, it's like, okay, well, why bother, eh? So, we'll get back to that. Build some really excellent, really excellent local ether worlds. And it's going to be with quantum computers. And it's going to be based on legal processes, true legal processes, not massive illegal censorship that goes on now. We're all censored big time, right? In all sorts of ways. And so that's going to be really good. I mean, basically we can get there pretty fast now, it looks like, as the shit really hits the fan, is hitting the fan now at all levels. And why? But, just to get back to why the Earth surface cabal is going down now is because of that. Because so much of the clearing of the Chimera, well, the huge part in recent weeks and months is when the light forces reactivated Operation Mjolnir. Right, they activated that a couple of years about I think it was the beginning of 2018. They activated Operation Mjolnir for a while, but it got to a point where the dark forces were going like totally retarded and figuring, we're just gonna spend it all, and then all of us in the surface would have been destroyed basically, but they would have too. But they were just it was a little early, so they reactivated Operation Mjolnir in recent months. And now it's been full on, man, the hammer, Thor, the whole bit, eh? And so in recent weeks and recent months, the Draconian fleet is cleared from sublunar space, for example. That's huge. And basically, it's been at least a couple of years since, say, this moon up here. We call our moon the Earth moon. All the negative forces have been removed from there too. So the moon is controlled by the light forces. Generally, other than little pockets, the whole solar system is controlled by the light forces. Other than there's little pockets here and there, and it's the Earth. It's right here on the Earth's surface, and not just the Earth, but the surface. That's the final victory of the light. When liberation comes here, we're the last to get liberated right here. And we're close. So we look at how close we are. It's all it's hitting the fan. Eh? So the more the faster we can stop the demons from putting poison in our people's arms en masse and stuff, the better. Like that's why they're in such panic to roll out these poison vaccines and get them into our people. So you can see up here in Canada, they're just rolling it in like this insane maniac. And some places are talking about, we're going to give them to the elders first. You know what I mean? Like, wow, man. I'd stop the whole thing if I could, but we're all one man and one armies at the same time. So let's any of us that give a shit for real and have some kind of awakening going and know what's really going on here. Let's continue to find ways to get this stopped, because our people's lives are at risk here. Not just at risk. It's so it's victory or death now. That's what it is. Either way, the light forces has taken over this Earth completely. Now it's just how that plays out. Hopefully, the more we can reduce the ongoing otherwise pain and suffering, death and destruction here on the surface. And we'll see how that goes, hopefully. And I would predict the mass populace of us will survive and get to the other side, but we'll see. You know, like I say, the dark beast is super panicked, super desperate mode. You can see it in all their minions speaking at podiums on all these dark force controlled media sites every day. Like just what they're saying, it's not based on any science or truth. If you know, I mean, wow, but a lot of people are buying it. We're so brainwashed. So any of us that know, we really, in a sense, got a moral obligation, you know, to strive to do something, right? You know, and that's what we're doing, anyways. We're, you know, to each his own, But hats off to everybody putting effort into getting the truth out, and like I say, various excellent peoples and groups that are doing a lot of stuff. Major lawsuits going on by some really positive force lawyers, etc. And all the doctors, like I say, that are speaking out against what's going on, all the pseudoscience and the lies and deception that are going on. That you know, there's no science or truth based on why billions of people are wearing masks out there right now, obviously, you know, or social distancing, or, you know, on and on. So anyways, they're definitely, the cabals, they're on their way out, and they're just going out hard, obviously. You know, they're just, it's like, it's a tragic thing in many ways, of course, but at the same time, like I say, more and more cabalists, the more moderate ones, certainly, and lower level minions are singing like canaries. It's mostly behind the scenes. So they're so busted. And like I say, more and more, you're really seeing the dark force agents of all sorts fleeing the dark force's sinking ship. So Mother Earth will be liberated soon. Absolutely 100%. And let's do this mass meditation and bring in this lovely age of Aquarius to and start to build something really special and beautiful and lawful and high quality life for everybody. There's going to be it's going to be so awesome, you know, like in so many ways, including there'll be more and more off planet work opportunities for all types, all sorts of types, including the warriors, man. You know, anybody want to go, you know, be part of military operations and stuff? There's going to be lots of work. Just for example, for a long time, I figured what we're going to be doing is going just in this star cluster, right? The local star cluster, which is about 52 star nations, including the one we're in. Just there, you know, there's pockets of draconians here and there, and that's going to be lots of work, just going in and neutralizing those pockets of negative draconians still in play and stuff, You know, so there'll be lots of work for everybody, the scientists, the lawyers, the engineers, the medical, anybody want to do medical, all sorts of sciences, you know, on and on. You know, it's just gonna, it's amazing, So more and more people will have a choice, really a true choice, what they'd like to do, what they'd like to experience. And one more thing about, in the education system, of course, like what we're going to do here is, I'm sure we're going to want to do it just like some of the planets, or basically many of the planets in, say, the Pleiadian star cluster, which is a lot bigger star cluster than what I'm talking about, the local star cluster here. But basically, education in so many of the places, these planets in the Pleiades, you basically have an opportunity to basically get a degree, like what we call a university degree or a college degree or a college diploma, even whatever, you know, these post-secondary achievements we can do. We're gonna have, all our people will have opportunities to basically have a university degree in all the major disciplines if they want, and then specialize in what they want, and work in some of these fields for a while, and then maybe go into another field. You know what I mean? Because we're going to start to be able to live for 1,000+ years soon with all the technology we're going to get. That's we already developed. It's in the secret space program. Age regression, you know, where we can basically regress ourselves to a 35-year-old body and still have all the knowledge and skills that we've developed. We might be 500 years old, but we'll have our body will be like 35 years old, And so, you know what I mean? Like it's literally, you know, we can be 800 years old and still playing like sports, man. You know, we can still play tackle football if we want when we're 800 years old, kind of thing. It's, you know, that's what's opening up for us now. So hats off to all the light forces everywhere. Victory of the light, for light, to light, in light, be light, sacred lights. Salut tous les soldats de la lumière. Victoire de la lumière, pour la lumière, à la lumière, dans la lumière. Être la lumière, sacre la lumière. Bravo, salut.